Hello. Is anybody out there doing a Pink Floyd? I'm gonna try to be kind of quiet. The missus is in there asleep. The other night I stayed up all night. She went to bed. Last night I went to bed. She stayed up all night. 351. Can you hear me? Josie, howdy. That's good. As long as y'all can hear me. I feel sorry for y'all having to look at me. Took off my hat and mask. I'd scare you. I'll be going back and forth with the camera because I got me some coffee and I want to drink it. Oh, yeah, we got snow. We got lots of it. Elaine did a little short video showing it. Melinda Dawson, howdy. Yeah, I thought about whether or not to get it, and I thought, well, I didn't put no video out for today, so we gotta go ahead and get up, do it live, bore everybody for a little while. Coffee time. Oh, okay. Never mind. Oh, okay, there we go. Yeah, that's better. Now then. She's asleep, Josie. Night before last, I stayed up all night. She went to bed. Last night, she stayed up all night. I went to bed much earlier than I normally do. So we kind of bounce back and forth that way sometimes. Being forced retired and can barely keep up with the days, it's not really much of nothing to do. You kind of lose track of time and you just do whatever, whenever. You might not be wrong there, Melinda. Due to this weather being back and forth, and now as cold as it says 32 here right now, and everything has been rough on our sinuses. Joe, fix it for you. What up, bro? But it's weather's been rough on our sinuses the last couple of nights. Yesterday morning and this morning, I'm waking up a little chugged up. It was worse yesterday morning. I had one of those little tickles right there, and had to work on chugging that up. Took a little while, but it finally come up. Got a little bit today. It's not as bad. So yeah, being forced retired, not knowing what day it is, not much to do, you just kind of lose track of time and nothing's pressing. Yeah, okay. I'm just kind of here. Anyway, the weather's got our sinuses messed. Always has our sinuses messed up, and everything. So we've dealt with that. Amy at Leonard Mountain and said she wasn't feeling too good. Doctor told her she got COVID. So I told her some things she can do to help with that. Things that got us through all that. We never got bothered by COVID. Certain types of vitamins, not wearing a mask. This mask is only for when I'm on here. And that mask thing was just to see if they could get everybody to do what they said to do. The thing about masks, they figured it out in 1918 with the Spanish flu. The mask ain't nothing but an incubator. It will help incubate those germs. And then you ain't incubating just the COVID germ. You're incubating every germ that comes along. And now you got a problem that's multiplied many-fold. Being out in the sunshine, kill that germ on contact. Vitamin D3 kills that germ on contact. So I didn't wear a mask, and I stayed away from folks who did wear the mask. They'd be breathing on me not only a fortified COVID germ, they'd be blowing on me whatever other germ that mask had caught and incubated. Virginia Alexander. So I just stayed away from folks who wore it, didn't wear one myself. There's so many things people were told that were wrong, but because of fear, most people followed along like good little lemmings. And see, that's something else they weren't told was COVID was just a more technical term for the common cold. They messed with it a little bit to make it worse. And then called it COVID instead of the common cold. In other words, what they do is they pull what I call the boo game on everybody. Instill fear. And once fear is installed, the logic centers, logic and rationality centers of people's brains shut off because of fear. So, about the only way they'd be able to tell that it's COVID and not a regular common cold is they'd have to be able to see when they look at it under a microscope the changes that were made to it. And everything, so they'd know the difference between the two. But it's still all in all just a really bad cold. They've been tampered with. Looking at it under a microscope, you can tell the difference between it and regular common cold virus. Anyway, it's cold, y'all. It's not too bad in here. We got 3 different heaters running now. One of them seems to be doing better work than the other two. And it's an older, cheaper, not as good heater as the other two. Ain't that something? Probably be a really bad bill next month for this month. They probably got that prorating going on, so it'd be even worse. But you do what you gotta do. I keep seeing those ads when I'm watching videos. I keep seeing ads for that Eco Warm. I'd like to get some of those and try those out. Told Layden, I said we might not be able to get them this year, but we can try to get them for next year. See how that works. I have no idea what the wind chill is outside here in Melinda. I ain't been outside to figure it out. I haven't checked weather. I normally don't check weather anyway, but I hadn't checked the weather to see what it is either. I don't want to know. I don't want to be out there in it. I'm not going to be out there in it. It's too cold. My cold tolerance has been better this year than it has in the last almost 40 years. But it ain't got that good yet. I'm kind of like a Lane on that. I would prefer the spring and fall season uh, temps. That way you ain't too hot and you ain't too cold. So, anyway, Mama Linda must be asleep. But I hadn't seen her yet. Sorry for the noises, folks, but what's got to be has got to be. Time for another sip of coffee. All right. Well, folks, been a lot of things going on out there in the world. What y'all think of all that? Yeah, I'm opening up the door just a little bit. Have something to talk about. Abby. My thermometer is showing 74 in here, and that's a little bit cool for me. I'm comfortable, but I can deal with being a little warmer. But I don't want to be real warm, if you understand my meaning. I don't want to get the kind of warm you want to put the piggy at. Had to get a fresh dip. Like Peach would say, had to get a little calm down. $76 be all right. As long as there's something in between me and that fire. Yeah. I got open top so that there's plenty of air blowing by so I can breathe good. Don't want none of that smoke. So what y'all think of all that going on out there? I know what I think about it. I'll be right back. I gotta freshen up my coffee. All right. Gotta fix it for you if you're paying attention. Just so you know. That's what I drink my coffee out of. I think I got a kitty wanting in somewhere. I heard a bang on the door. I'm not sure which one. Come on, you two. Tank and Swinger had wanted to go out, so I let them out. That ain't been but since just before I popped up live. Swinger, I'm not surprised. Tank, I'm not surprised. But normally, Tank, he'll stay out there for a long time, even in the bad cold. I let him out. I let Swinger out just a while ago, and I opened the door. They both wanted in. They don't like that cold white stuff. Neither do I. Let's see. Looks like Fancy's back there up on top of Lane's chair. So again, I say, what's everybody think of what's going on out there in the nation today? Coffee time. Whole lot of chickens coming home to roost on a lot of stuff, ain't it, Abbott? You don't do what needs to be done, you get the results that's been being got. Ginger. Oh, yeah, Ginger. We've had it since yesterday morning. It ain't gone away yet. I see people have driven on the road. I hadn't heard anybody since I got up. They tried doing a snowplow, but every time they tried, they kept running into a sheet of ice underneath. I could have told them that's what they would have got. But that's the way it goes anytime we get a snow like this. You get some snow, people get out there and drive on it, everything turns to ice. Oh, there is, Abbott? Good. That just means I ain't got to go nowhere next week. That means that daycare down there will be shut down until it's gone. They went ahead and shut down Friday because it was expected. I've been watching a lot of channels like Benny Johnson, OK Rick, DeVory Darkins, keeping up with some stuff. There's one thing that happened yesterday I didn't like, but that's all right. The one who insisted on doing it doesn't realize what he's opened the door up to. There's already receipts showing how his daughter is connected to the adversaries of the one who did it to. So that will get redressed in a different way, and that'll be brought up. And when they bring it up, they're going to tear them people up. I've read Revelation of it. That out yonder, man may have started that. Those are wicked people, and even the wicked shall do God's will. And that out yonder wasn't nothing but a pure case of God's wrath. I think it's tragic some people lost their lives. I think it's tragic that it happened. But at the same time, it wasn't unexpected. A lot of things showing that this was planned. And it's going to come out. God gave him a wake-up call long ago. This wasn't a wake-up call. This was a God's wrath level event. They had put up bars and other businesses that were related to a trans thing, celebrating the way they live. And I think that's what God said it was time. So he let all that come together. And as I understand it, pretty much the majority of that city is totally destroyed. It still could, Melinda. It still could. You can't you can't not only go against God's word, but celebrate and revel in your sin, being flagrant about it before God, without consequences coming. That's what happened in Sodom. It finally got bad enough. God had enough, so He destroyed it all. He destroyed all but one of the cities that were in that area. That's why a remnant of that was left to regrow. Time for coffee. All right. And Ginger, in case Joe ain't able to look at the screen again, that's what I drank my coffee out of. But anyway, ain't that nice? Now that other event that I alluded to, that person don't realize what they've done. Excuse me for a minute. I got something itching. Y'all about to y'all about to hear something. I apologize now, but it's got to be. That's a little better for now. But y'all thought y'all were gonna hear me passing gas. Nope, wrong end. I can see everybody's sleepy this morning like I am. I shouldn't be as sleepy as I am, but like I told Johnny the other night, I've been sleeping about 10 to 14 hours a day here lately. A lot of it has to do with the cold. Just kind of shut down and hibernate a little bit. Nope, it weren't that, Melinda. Wrong end. Had to do something about not being able to breathe. Everybody sleepy this morning. Ain't nobody chatting much. That's all right. It ain't but almost 10 o'clock on a Saturday morning, my time. Linda, I know it's probably an hour or two later or earlier where you're at. Well, Rainy Ridge, howdy Tina, how you doing? I'm just sitting here talking about the cold, the snow, and certain events that have been taking place. Not getting too in depth about it, but just kind of talking around the edges of it. Yes, ma'am, it is. I saw that snow you were crunching around in. We ain't got quite as much as you do, but we got about 4 or 5 inches, and it's still out there. The road's covered in slush and ice, like I knew it would be. I don't know if it'll get warmer enough to melt it all off by the time Monday comes. Abbott's saying we're supposed to be getting more down here. So if we do, I'll be off for a while next week too. I like some of that woodwork I've seen you do, Tina. Yeah, I heard you say he took the side by side to be able to get there. I feel for him, but you do what you got to do, I guess. It's what I always did. Well, Melinda, that's probably because ain't nobody up or available to be using that Wi-Fi. But in the evening, they're all back, get on it, and they suck up all the bandwidth. We now have fiber optic. We got upgraded. Oh, okay. Well, that's a good thing. Where does he work at? Same place you do, or somewhere else? I hadn't learned yet where he works at. 911. Okay, the call center or something. Time for coffee. I'm gonna drink from your cup. Joe, fix it for you. There. I would get really in depth in into the current events, but I don't like all the drama it would cause, all the debates that would come up. Some people getting their feelings hurt because the facts I would spout would hurt the feelings of those who ain't going off facts. Oh, dispatcher. All right. As long as he don't tell you to go to a certain place, I guess you'll be doing all right, won't you? Yeah, I'd get into details on that, but again, like I said, I wouldn't. I don't feel like debating nobody. I don't feel like the drama. I know what I know. I can see things for myself, and I can see what the facts are and what they ain't. But there's people out there who'd like to argue the facts because they've been fed lies and they take them as facts. Uh, Office girl. Uh-huh. Well, hey, at least that keeps you out of the weather. Of course, I think most, not all, are kind of the same as me and aligned with the facts for the most part. I'm kind of anxious for 9 days from now. I'm waiting to see that horse gate at the races be opened up, if you know what I mean. I think there's going to be some surprises that some people ain't going to be expecting. Yeah, I was going to say some of that stuff is a young person's game. Once you reach a certain age, they can bring somebody with experience in for knowledge, experience, and advice if need be. But most of the rest of it's a young person's game. Anyway, I've been watching those channels I named a lot. Keep up to date on what's going on. Any of y'all watch the little clips from Carter's funeral? I have. I think it's funny. Two of them especially. Sitting there laughing and cutting up. I've heard what some of the ones on those channels I watch have had to say about what that might be. To me, the one that is fixing to be had a look of a snake lulling its prey, hypnotizing it, kind of like a python does. And the prey was sitting there laughing, thinking he's on a equal level. That's what I got out of that. Can you imagine the tension that was there? It was, the tension was so thick you could just almost about see it. Actually, you could see it. It was, there was one previous one. Tommy tapped another previous one. Like the old good buddies. That should tell everybody a lot about most of them. Yeah, I'm kind of talking in vague terms. So if you know, you know. If you don't, well, I think there's going to be a lot of interesting things going to start here in about 9 days. I think there's, let's just say, I think there's going to be a cleansing go on, and it's going to be different from the other cleansing that's going on. Let's just say it that way. And again, while that out west is sad that it happened, it's not unexpected. It was planned. And while it's tragic that some people lost their lives in that, here's why I don't really feel sorry for a lot of them. They kept getting told. And they kept getting told. And they kept getting told. They refused to see the writing on the wall, and they refused to leave and get away. So like Lot's wife, they paid the price. Sappy. Elaine's not in here right now, Sappy. She's in bed asleep. She stayed up most of the night. So you just got me. Right. I think she was having a hot flash because she was out from underneath the covers. Those uh, those hot flashes or something. It can be flat out cold. I'm under the covers, barely staying warm. She's over there out from under the covers sweating. I thank God he made me a man. Every day, all day. I think she is too, Melinda. Otherwise, she'd be in here. I forgot to put one out Tuesday. I had one made for Tuesday, but I didn't. I failed to put it out. Now I got to clear those out to be ready for next week. If the snow stays around and we don't get have to do our thing, I'll have to figure out something to talk about from here. If I thought I could get up of a morning, I'd just go ahead and do it live on those days. But it ain't guaranteed that I'll go to bed early enough and get sleep enough to be able to be up to do it live. All right, so what else is new in everybody's life? Ginger, did y'all get y'all share of snow down there? They say down in Atlanta it's supposed to be worse. which is kind of odd because it's further south. I know the feeling, Ginger. I know the feeling. If I was doing this off of my mobile device, I'd walk over to the door and show y'all. Maybe I'll do a short later and put it out and show you our share. Oh yeah, well you think I stay in the house? Not only is it cold out there, there's snow out there to leave easy tracks for you to follow. Yeah, I saw that, Ginger. You almost hit that truck, girl. I saw that other one of you going straight down that driveway. Uh-uh. He is either being stupid or brave. I don't know which. But it looked like he had fun doing it. Either way. Also, I saw that one with the deer. Like them deer know when hunting season is and when it ain't. They come around in droves. But yeah, I saw all that. I kind of like more power to you. Me, I don't like the cold. And even if that wasn't a problem, I'm in too bad a shape to be trying to get out there and doing something like that. It wouldn't take but one half decent hit to the head and I'd be done. Be game over for me. Because all that right there. I don't know if y'all can see that scar or not. Between the lighting and the whiskers and all that. Let's see where, yeah, starts about right there, comes out about right there. That's where they made a hole to get in there and clean up the mess. But it did a real good job on the scar. You have to look a little hard to see it. Well, you did more than thought you could. You did. I doubt y'all stayed out there too long. But it was interesting to see what y'all did. Excuse me. Poor old Johnny out there staying out in it, taking care of them cows. I feel for that boy. He's hardcore. He's an old school rancher. That takes a lot. Don't you just hate that feeling? Kind of like going to sit down on the toilet and forgot the lid was up. Butt touches that cold water. Like, oh, who was the? Oh yeah, I was the last one there. Elaine has had to get on me a couple of times because I forgot to put the seat back down. She weren't none too happy about that. I didn't mean to do it. I'm not into playing practical jokes. But I wound up inadvertently doing it anyway a couple of times. And she let me know about it. She wasn't too mean about it, but she let me know about it. And I can't blame her. Just made me to be learn to be more aware. Well, that's what you get for using something that ain't meant for that, ain't it? Yeah, she's in there asleep right now. Ain't got no covers on her. But she didn't when I came in here. Well, I said she must be having one of them hot flashes going on. At one point last night, I was comfortable. She was over there cold, but she was on the opposite side of a hot flash. I thank God he made me a man. If men had to go through what women go through, we would have been an extinct species a long time ago. Just saying. That's what the road outside looks like, Ginger. Looks kind of like a slushy with ice underneath it. Everybody must still be sleepy, still trying to get geared up. Because the chat's a little slow. 20 degrees out. Lord have mercy. It's 32 here, and that's cold enough for me. Oh, working a double. Okay. I've done those. I worked for one place. I'd work anywhere from 12 to 16 hours a day for days on end. All right, Evan. I still got to get those little videos I told you I was going to send you. Maybe I'll get off here. When I get off here, I'll look those up, send them to you to show you some funny stuff. I'd put it in video, but don't want them to know I got it or happen to come across it, to give them something to be mad about. But I got to do that. And what I'm talking about, folks, is half done, half wit, and his son-in-law out there doing work on that lower drive, and son-in-law was on a skid steer. Well, it wasn't a skid steer. It had wheels, not skids. But he's out there working it. He's not that great, and apparently he's made some money using that thing, but he's not that great. I know that's right. What did you used to do there, Melinda? But anyway, he's allegedly made money using that thing. He ain't that good. A couple of little videos I got prove it. I showed him. I sent them to my little sis to let her see. She's like, "Oh my God!" Now my little sis, she takes care of the books and pretty much runs a heavy equipment operation for a cousin of hers, and among other things that she does. And I was showing it to her. She's like, "Oh my God." I told her, I said, "Yeah, apparently he's made money using that thing." She's kind of like, "I don't see how." Oh, okay. I know 29 Palms used to be considered the world's largest live fire range. 945 square miles of base. You go 45 miles in each direction around it. 945 square miles. We'll get out there, tanks and jets, which means you still served. You ain't got to have the uniform on in order to serve. That's what I told that one boy at a military museum next to a store we used to shop at. He saw that I had served, and we got to talking, and he said that he had wanted to. His daddy was a Marine, but he had something happen to him, causing him to bust an eardrum that disqualified him from service. So he went into Coast Guard and other things, been all around the periphery of the military service, doing what he could to serve. And I just told him, I said, "Well, you've got the heart of a Marine." I said, "That's all that matters." I said, "You still served. You ain't got to have worn the uniform to have served." Everybody can serve in some kind of capacity. Even if it seems to most like it's on the periphery, you still doing what you can do. Hey, as long as you had something covering your butt. It don't matter. So yeah, you don't have to have had worn the uniform. You don't have to have signed that dotted line on that blank check to have been a service to the military. That's a thing about pride in your nation, loyalty and dedication to your nation that a good number of folks have not learned, much less adhere to. I think we need to get back to that. Of course, that's largely due to the schools being used to not teach that. Personally, I think every able body that is able to serve should serve at least 2 years in the military. Graduate high school, go for 2 years in the military, and then decide if you want to stay in the military or use what you learned to go into the private sector and try your luck. Might turn things around, give people an appreciation for this nation. Now you got folks out there, not sure where this is at, but anyway, there's a person out there who felt like a blind person, so they put drain cleaner or something on their eyes. Another person felt like an amputee, so they cut off their arm. Folks, if that ain't a definition of insanity, I don't know what is. Well, I appreciate that. But like I tell folks, it was my pleasure and honor to have had the privilege to be able to serve. That's how I look at it. Because not everybody gets the privilege of being able to sign that blank check. When I went in, I expected to go die. So I knew what it was about. We used to say, do or die. When you're a warrior, you expect to die in service to your nation. But as y'all can see, that wasn't in God's plans for me. So I never got to serve in combat. We came close one time, but it never happened. We was going on an amphibious operation. We are going to go on a ship and be out at sea for a few days and then come back in, uh, do what we was going to do on land. Those 3 days on sea was kind of rough. But prior to going on to that, they had told us to make out our wills because we didn't know if we was going to be landing at San Diego or if we were going to be landing in the Middle East. There's definitely some high tensions going on there. And it was a real thing. They made us make out wills. So I didn't have much of anything to leave to anybody. Didn't have anything really. And didn't have no wife and kids or too many family that I talked to even then. And so there wasn't much for me to say. In fact, I don't think I did one because I didn't have anything or family to leave anything to, even if I did have anything. But it was a real thing. They had us packed in a way that, in case we landed in the Middle East instead of at San Diego. I was kind of happy. I was like, oh yeah, there's a possibility I'm going to get to do what I wanted to do. I wanted to go. Didn't find many like that. You didn't find many like me. I went into the military for what the military is supposed to be for. There's a lot of others joined just because of the benefits. I wasn't worried about the benefits. I was concerned with being there for what the military is meant to be for. That's why I can flip the switch and be cold if I need to be. Because you face an enemy, it's either you or them. You prefer it to be them. But if it happens to be you, oh well, you did your bit. And trust me, folks, there's a part of me that can be very cold. And I try to keep that locked away in a deep, dark dungeon. Because I know that I can be. And I don't want to be unless I have to be. That's why some things happen to folks and everything. They've been warned. They don't do anything about it. I have a hard time feeling sorry for them because they were told it was coming. They chose not to believe it, much less do anything about it. I know there might be some folks out there that not like the fact that I can remove compassion from an equation. But, you know, you can only help somebody so far. It's on them to choose to believe it and act on it. You know, especially if they're doing things basically spit in the face of God. You know, like God, I would that everybody would come to God and serve Him without concession. But there's a lot of folks out there believe they can serve God and serve mammon too. A lot of folks out there believe they can serve God and do things that God hates at the same time. You can't do it. And on that day, those folks are going to be sorely disappointed because they were misled to think that they can do all these things against God, but God will still reward them with heaven. He won't. He is a God of love, but he's also a jealous God. And it's kind of like, you know, thinking you can go to the neighbor and get his adoption and get all the benefits of being adopted by that person while still serving the house that was doing you wrong. Not going to happen. So, food for thought there. You can't take some parts of the Bible and think you can grab onto that and dismiss other parts of the Bible because God is love. Well, he is love. Sometimes love is tough. You know, it's like disciplining a child. You know, it hurts a parent more to have to spank that child. But if you don't spank that child, you don't love that child. And then if that child still chooses to keep on going down that wrong path, you come to a point where you have to let them go. I know there's a lot of folks that, well, I'm going to love my child anyway. Well, it's not that you don't love your child by letting them go and reap what they sow. It's just that you have to let them go. Because the Bible's pretty plain about it. There's children of God and there's children of wrath. Not everybody going to make it. So you can't participate in the things of the world and still think you're going to get the rewards of God. Not going to happen. So that's just a hard truth people need to realize, because you can't have it both ways. Our Bible says also, you can't serve two masters because you'll either love the one and hate the other. So you want to grab onto God, but yet you don't want to let go of the world. You want to think you're okay because that's how you want to live. No, you got to live by every word in God's word. If you dismiss any of it, you ain't getting God's rewards. You ain't getting heaven. And you say, well, God is love, he accepts all things. No, he don't. That's not what his word says. So, food for thought. Well, what's everybody got planned for today? Talk about something else. Time for coffee. There we go. I guess y'all can hear I got a sip. That, well, Everything seems a little slow. I need to take me a red pill, a couple of pain relievers. I got me a bit of a headache going on. Let y'all go and let all y'all get to whatever it is y'all got to do today. I'm going to watch videos and play games. Get caught up on stuff. Try to. And maybe go get me a banana. I'm a little hungry. So, with that, I'm going to say, Piggy loves you.